Hello. I would like to show how to drift correct a movie with the ImageJ plugin BigDataProcessor. So what you need for this is the BigDataProcessor update site, which you can enable here in Manage Update Sites, and then just check BigDataProcessor. And you get there by Help Update. So once you have that installed, then in Plugins, you can open BigDataProcessor, and for this it's important now for the drift correction to open BigDataProcessor2, which is anyway in general the one I would recommend using. So now we open a file. There are many supported options. In this case, it's a TIFF stack. So to open the TIFF stack, we are using the bioformats library. And it's already selected here the file path, otherwise you could browse to it. So we just say, okay. Now it's opening the movie. So you can see here some elongated structure, and what we actually want to do is that the tip of the structure is always at the same position. And as you see, if I move here in time, this is definitely not the case in the raw data. This is actually a set stack. So you can see this up here. We are now at set position 12. In Big Data Viewer, which is the viewer here, you can use the mouse wheel to move, and we will also try to correct the drift in 3D. So that means I have to now first find a plane where I think my reference is. So I will do this only roughly here to save some time. I would say maybe, let's say this is the tip, right? So then I do now process, correct drift, create track. And I go here with the mouse, and as written here in the instructions, I press A to put an anchor point here, which will appear. And then I can go to the next time point. There are actually keyboard shortcuts for this, so I can press J. Okay. And then check where did my tip move, and I try to do this in 3D. Maybe here, so I press A again. Next time point. Okay. Maybe similar position, so I will not do anything. Let's move a few time points further. Go up and down in that. Okay, maybe here is the tip now, so I press A. So what happens now with, you see it actually interpolates the drift positions that I have not annotated. I only annotated in the first 2 time points, then I skipped a view and I annotated again. So everything that you did not annotate will be linearly interpolated. And you can actually see where that would be. It's not too bad. So that will save you a lot of time annotating. So you could use this and find stretches or segments in the movie where it's moving linearly, right? And then only annotate there. So again, I just want to demonstrate this here now, so I will not attempt to be perfect. So again, always check the set position. And then here. Yeah, and again, just to save time now for the demonstration, just go to the last time point and pretend that the tip is here. So now I have a complete track, and that should be now saved. So I will, maybe just save it on the desktop now and call it track. You don't have to give an ending. And then I close it. And now to actually apply the drift correction, you have to go to Process Correct Drift, Apply Track, load it. So desktop, and this is actually a JSON file format. That's why it's called track.json. Automatically appends the JSON ending. And then, yes, indeed, I want to now center the image on the track positions. That's the point. We want to drift correct. So now a second window opened. And if I play the movie here, you see how now it's stabilized, right? So the actual frames are moving such that the tip stays in the middle. With the right mouse button, I can center it. Okay, so that's good. Now I want to save this. So we can actually get rid of the other one. We need the tracked one. So for this, we actually also want to crop it to only have the region where there's now data, because if you correct drift, you always get black pixels. So we will first crop. So you can choose pixel units or calibrated units. Doesn't really matter here. Now we put a window such that in all frames our object of interest is present, and I would also do it such that there are no black pixels, but it depends what you want to do. So this is in XY. We also have to crop in Z. I think there, maybe we just take all planes now. To check that, you can press Shift X. To look from the side. Okay, I mean, this looks reasonable. This is a bit tricky. Shift Z, you're getting back into the XY view. So I just take everything in Z and I'm sure I'm not losing anything. Okay, so that looks excellent. So I click OK. So now we have the tracked cropped movie. And that looks now actually quite nice. So the tip is more or less just staying here and we only have relevant data. In fact, maybe one more thing. This is a bit noisy, this movie. So I don't think I want to keep all this data. So I just show you one more thing you can do. You can interactively bin the data. So for example, maybe we want to bin it 2 by 2 in XY, and you see it actually even looks better than before, I would say, without losing much. So let's also do that. So now we have a tracked, cropped, binned movie. And zooming out is arrow up, arrow down. Okay, beautiful. And now let's save this. And I want TIFF volumes. So output folder. That doesn't matter. Well, okay, let's do desktop, new folder, or drift test, create, open, and file name, we can just call it something, movie. And we don't need projections. We want to save all the volumes, all time points, no compression. You can also compress. And then we say save. And then you have here detailed logging of how the saving is going. Okay, it's done. The window doesn't close if it's done. It should, but it doesn't. So let's just close it. So now to actually open this data again in normal ImageJ, right, which might be more handy than Big Data Viewer here, there is a trick. Because, I mean, maybe I just show you first how the data looks like. So this is a file format where for each time point we have one Z stack, okay? And they are labeled. So opening them in FiJi is actually quite easy. It's a very handy trick. Plugins, bioformats importer. And then you just click on one of them, doesn't matter which one. And then there is this magic checkbox, group files with similar names, which is really, really useful. So you say, okay, and it actually automatically, because the file naming scheme is rather simple, detects that this should be the time axis. And then if you say, okay, it loads all the data, and you have now a normal FiJi set stack with your drift corrected, cropped, binned movie. Okay, thanks. Yeah, that's it. I hope this works for you. Have fun.